Hi there, my name is Ashley, and in this video I will tell you answers to the question, what is the best way to publish your first book? Stay tuned as I will walk you through a few simple steps to publish your first book. I promise that if you do follow these simple steps, you will see results. By the end of this tutorial, you will know more about how to publish your first book. If this is your first time here, please hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any new videos. Please give the video a like because that motivates me to make more content for you. Thank you very much. Let's dive in. So if you're a writer, a dreamer, or anyone with something important to say, you've probably thought about writing and publishing a book. But while writing a book is a huge achievement in and of itself, getting it in front of readers is another matter. And figuring out how to publish a book can present a real challenge for first-timers. I will now give you some powerful tips to follow to help you publish your first book. Here we go. So the first tip is to choose a publishing route. I want to tell you that modern authors have many publishing routes from which to choose from. Let me tell you something else. There's no one right way to publish a book, so the steps I will give you, I suggest you treat them as best practices rather than mandatory actions. With that being said, your path to publishing a book will inevitably affect your approach here. Now, before you proceed, my advice is that you need to decide on a few things. Here are a few things that you need to think about first. Do you want to self-publish or traditionally publish a book? If the latter, do you want to go through a small press or larger publisher? Here is my next tip. Edit the draft of your book. The greatest gift any author can give their manuscript is a complete edit. Yes, this is true whether you're self-publishing or submitting your book to agents. Either way, people will be reading it, judging it, and making decisions that impact its success. I will now give you some tips to help you get started. Here we go. The first thing I suggest you do is wait a week or more before you edit. This will give you the fresh eyes you need to consider your writing the way an editor would. The next thing is to start with the plot and the characters. My advice is to read through your entire book and take notes with big picture elements in mind. Does your story plot follow a sensible structure? Have a good number of plot points and not seem too rushed at the end? Do your characters feel well-rounded with compelling motivations driving them and dynamic interactions with others? If this is too intimidating for you, my advice is to skip to the line edits. Maybe you can't wrap your head around plot or character changes right now, but you can still work on the pacing of individual scenes. Or you can hone your voice with better word choice. Even correcting basic mechanical errors is better than nothing. When in doubt, I suggest that you read out loud. If you're struggling to get through a chunk of editing, try reading passages out loud. This is a great way to break down your mental blocks and hear what can be improved in your writing. Now you may be asking yourself this question, do I really need to edit my book? In short, the answer is yes. No one wants to read a book full of typos or plot holes, and no self-respecting author would publish an unedited draft anyway. Unless you've already signed a book deal, you'll need to find someone to iron out your manuscript, and short of training to become an editor yourself, that means hiring a professional editor to do the job. And if at any point you want to, you can get instant access to further online training with the Book Publishing Online course. This course contains so much valuable information that you will not find anywhere else. You can use everything you learn on this course to write your first book and publish your first book. If you want to take this course, I'll have the link in the description box under this video. You can click it at any time. So let's now get back to those tips. Here we go. Here is my next tip. Get some feedback from editors and critique circles. Whether you hire an editor or not, thoughtful third-party feedback is invaluable to your book writing project. So, throughout the editing process, most authors go through multiple rounds of revisions. I suggest that you share your manuscript with trusted collaborators to see what they think of your work. To help your participants provide more honest feedback, my advice is to ask them to submit an anonymous form with their thoughts on specific elements, namely the plot, the characters, the pacing, and the prose. My advice is to include a rating system to make it easier for them. Also, to make sure their feedback is constructive, I suggest to ask them to propose a solution to each problem, not just point it out. Let me tell you about how to get some feedback. If you feel comfortable asking friends and family for their notes, then you should. However, this can be a delicate process, and it may be better not to involve anyone you know personally. Let me now give you 3 more ways you can get reliable feedback on your book. The first way is critique circles, and they are fantastic places to get feedback. Not only do they allow you to get notes on your book, but they also help hone your own critical skills. The next way is writing communities, which can also be useful. Many of these communities have built-in critique circles. I suggest that it's worth you checking their individual forums to see if anyone's looking for a critique partner, or if you're lucky, offering free critiques. The next one is beta readers. This is a good way to get detailed, candid feedback from people who are invested in your book. For context, most authors use beta readers after they've done some self-editing, but before they pass their book off to an editor. Here is my next tip. Give your manuscript a title. Having come this far, you may have already chosen your book's title. But if you haven't quite settled on it, or if the editing process changed your manuscript so much you feel like you need a new title to match, now's the time to nail it down. No matter what title you choose to go with, let me now give you more advice to help you with the process. The first tip is to keep it short. Think about how many bestsellers these days have 1 to 2 word titles. Titling your book The Something is a timeless approach for a reason. It gets the idea across quickly and is easy for readers to remember. My next tip is to make it intriguing. Another advantage to a short title is that it naturally creates intrigue. Still, when in doubt, layer on a little more. Brit Bennett could have just accurately called her 2020 book The Viners Family Saga, but The Vanishing Half is a much more intriguing, elegant title. Here is another tip. Don't copy anyone too closely. While it's good to use tried and true formulas, you don't want your title to sound so familiar that people think, haven't I heard that before? My advice is to stay away from the Galileo Code or the Girl on the Bus. Here is my next tip for you. Format your book for publication. Now that you have your manuscript fully polished, you're ready to format your book with chapter headings, aligned text, and page numbers. Again, this is crucial whether you're self-publishing or sending your work to agents. Either way, you want to make a good impression with a professionally formatted book. For those people who are sending their book to agents, all you need is to format your manuscript in a standardized, readable way. My advice is to look for a manuscript formatting template just for the occasion. Simply plug in your text and send the file on its way. If you're publishing solo, this step gets a little trickier. You have to format your book so it's 100% ready to upload to your chosen self-publishing platform. And many authors are understandably apprehensive about formatting. After all, design is a very different skill set from writing. Let me now tell you about some other formatting options that you can use. The first is free formatting software. Other than the Reedsy book editor, you can try Kindle Create and Apple Pages, both of which provide formatting templates for free. However, each software caters to its own store, so converting your files for other retailers may get messy. The next one is paid formatting software. You can also spring for more elaborate formatting software like Scrivener, which is $45, or Vellum, which is $200. The nice thing about these programs is that you can try them for free, and if you like what you see, pay the license fee to format as many books as you want. So, of all the things that I have covered in this tutorial will help you publish your first book. If you want to learn more about book publishing, make sure you click the link down below the video now and check out the book publishing course. This online course will provide you with all the training and the knowledge you need to create a profitable book from start to finish. The link is in the description below the video, so check it out now. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and please give the video a like. If you have any questions, leave a comment down below and I will follow up with you. Thanks for watching.